Alrighty everyone, how's it going? I hope you're all well. Welcome back to Britain Chips English. My name's Alex. Today I want to talk to you about an expression that has two meanings that is used in Britain and countries such as Australia and New Zealand. The expression has two forms. They're very similar, but both indicate different meanings. The first is to take the piss out of someone or something. This means to mock, to tease, or to make fun of in order to be funny. Often the out of someone or something part of the expression is omitted and we simply say, I'm taking the piss, or he's taking the piss. So why don't we look at some examples? The guys were taking the piss out of me because I only ordered a half instead of a full pint. The guys were taking the piss out of me because I only ordered a half instead of a full pint. She's taking the piss out of football because she thinks it takes itself too seriously. She's taking the piss out of football because she thinks it takes itself too seriously. You look really tired today. Oh crap, really? Don't tell me that. No, don't worry. I'm just taking the piss. You see, in that last example, I didn't need to say, I'm just taking the piss out of you. It was implied. I'm just taking the piss by what I'm saying to you about looking tired. I feel like this expression highlights the nature of British humour very well. It doesn't really travel very well either. It's not used at all in the USA. In fact, it reminds me of a time when I was in the US about 15 years ago, and I mentioned it to someone I met over there. I said, oh, don't worry, I'm just taking the piss. And he didn't understand at all. He thought I said taking a piss because it was the closest thing he could think of. And of course, to take a piss means to pee or to wee or to urinate. The second expression that uses the words to take the piss means to be unreasonable and often insulting. Let's look at some examples. My boss expects me to finish work tonight at 10 p.m. and then be back in at 6 a.m. He's taking the piss. My boss expects me to finish work at 10 p.m. and be back in at 6 a.m. He's taking the piss. The TV I'm selling is worth easily 100 quid, but the guy who wants to buy it is offering me only 20. He's taking the piss. The TV I'm selling is worth easily 100 quid, but the guy who wants to buy it is offering me only 20. He's taking the piss. Driving an hour to work just to have a meeting that we could have had over email is taking the piss. Driving an hour to work just to have a meeting that we could have had over email is taking the piss. So there you go guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video about two very important British expressions. They're both very similar, so I'm sure you could memorize them quite easily. But be aware, both are very informal, so you should be very careful with whom you use them. If you're interested in reading more about the first expression that uses the words to take the piss out of, you can read a link which I will put in the description below to a very interesting little blog post. It's a very short read. It talks about why the expression is not really used at all in the United States. So now I have some questions for you. Have you heard either of these expressions before? Have you used them? And could you give me one example of how you could use each of the expressions? Let me know in the comments below. As usual, there is a blog to accompany this video which covers all the language that I have explained to you today, and of course it will all be in the description below for you to follow. Please share this video with your friends, it would mean a lot to me, and like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Facebook and on Instagram where I post videos every day. Thanks so much for watching guys, see you next time, bye bye.